don't get me wrong, because he did what the great players do, but it's just a little deflating to hear that both of your star players have broken down at the end of if we're being fair, about a 5 or a 6 year run here. And these guys are finally starting to get hurt.
So we had talked about the fact that Jaylen Brown wasn't right. But I will say I also have a partially torn right meniscus right now, right? And what I'll say, it's really interesting because Mazzulla said that Brown told him by the end of the series against the Knicks, it was starting to feel better. And the irony is when I finally got my MRI, it was feeling better, right? So it can sort of heal by itself. You know, you don't necessarily go in there. You probably do if you're an NBA player, but I'm not trying to go in there. I'm sort of managing it. And I'm not comparing myself to Jaylen Brown, but I think this is a piece, but not sort of a huge piece of what happened in this series. Because I do think he sort of was getting healthier, even though more was asked of him as this series went on. You know, Brad Stevens really talked about, I had Martian on my brain. Stevens talked about the first 2 games in the series, and I'm paraphrasing, but just the opportunities in those 2 games. And gosh, I hate to, I'm not going to go down a road and say, oh, Tatum and Brown with that turnover pass, that sort of unorthodox pass that led to Tatum's injury. Oh, that never happens if they win game 1 or 2. But gosh, with the utmost respect to the Knicks, to feel as though sort of the better team didn't get through the series and to be a fan of the better team. And then because of sort of throwing up all over yourselves, you find yourself in different situations in different games that leads to this. It's just such a disappointing exit. We haven't been on since the Celtics have been eliminated.